intercom now.
Yep.
Got luxury sun visors here. One for nothing. So I'm covering the toe brakes. Just doing the left to right checks. Compass, DI. So that's in a horizontal format, and that's in a vertical format. So you put the actual reading on the other side of the line. Otherwise, it would be incorrect.
Yeah.
Instruments are legible, not cracked. Circuit breakers haven't popped out. So we're all good. So the next thing we need to do, Chris has already checked, done the internal checks for us, so I don't have to go through them all, but we'll just stick to the basics. I'll make sure that I'm strapped in. So just put your shoulder harness on, Lewis, and then we will do a start, and you can help me on the start. And it should start very readily because Chris has just refueled it.
How does this plug in?
See that there?
Yep.
It just flips over like that.
There we go.
That's it. Excellent. Is it, somebody shortened it?
Somebody.
That should, with that,
There we go.
that should tighten up like that. But
Yep.
don't make it too harsh, Lewis, because we want you to be comfortable. Right, so next stage, we've got mixture full rich. I'm covering the toe brakes, so I'm just going to open this little window here and go clear prop. All good behind. So cycle that key to the start position, please, Lewis. Excellent. So those magnetos should now be on both, and I'm just gently bringing it up to 1200 RPM with the yoke back so that we don't have any nodding. I'm just tightening up the friction so the RPM doesn't start to run away from us. Yep. First thing we check is 1200 RPM. Next thing we check, the starter warning light is out. First, then after that we've got oil pressure in the green straight away. If that was on the floor now, we'd shut down and ask for the engineer. Unsurprisingly, the oil temperature's not quite there yet, but it's actually already in the green because it's just been refueled. So it's been running for about 5 minutes. So we're not going to waste any time. Radio on. That's our frequency. That's East Midlands approach. We'll put the transponder onto standby. Now next time we'll get you doing some taxiing as well, Lewis, but for today, especially with the surface being a bit soggy,
Yep.
I will just talk you through what I'm doing. So the first thing I'll do is just do a radio check. Netherthorpe Radio, Golf Bravo Foxtrot Hotel Uniform, radio check please.
Golf Hotel Uniform, readability 5.
Readability 5 also, Golf Hotel Uniform. So I'm just going to move off, and we'll need quite a lot of power to get the aeroplane moving. Things are improving. Must be drying out in all that sunshine.
Golf Hotel Uniform, what's the QFV in your aircraft, please?
1005.
Roger, thanks. Just checking against the electronic one in here.
So, fast walking pace is the correct taxi speed. Now I'm checking the downwind for runway 24. We've got plenty of wind, Lewis, so takeoff will be brisk. It's a bit lively on the approach. I've just done an hour with a student who did very well. Around to the right. And before I cross the active runway, I'm just going to have a look at the approach. Might be somebody coming in non-radio, so just because we can't hear anything, I'm going to be super cautious. Golf Hotel Uniform, crossing runway 24. Again, you can see I'm holding the this aeroplane with all three wheels hitting the ground at the same time. The correct way to land it is on the mains. So you'll see when I land, I've got a lot of back pressure on the yoke to make sure that I land on the mains, and then automatically the nose leg will follow. So I'm leaving it at 1700 RPM because that's what we need to do for the run-up. So the first thing we check is that the brakes are holding, which they are. Carburetor heat to hot. Notice that little drop in RPM.
Yep.
That's a good sign. That means that there's no ice in the carburetor. Turn that to normal. We'll check that the T's and P's are in the green, which they are.
Yep.
We'll check that the ammeter is charging, which it is. We'll check that we've got suction. In other words, that's in the green. So that means that our vacuum instruments, the DI and the turn indicator, actually do work. Smoothly come back to idle.
Magnetos.
Good point. So, would you like to check the magnetos for me? So I'll bring it back to 1700. So if you'd like to do the left one, back to both, and then right, back to both. Excellent. Then smoothly back to idle.
That was the run-up check.
And then back to 1200 RPM so the plugs don't oil up. So good crew resource management there. So a good look around. We'll move off again. This time it takes a bit more persuasion. But I'm avoiding using the brake. Just steering with differential rudder. Around she comes. Golf Hotel Uniform, taxiing to full hold. So we're going downhill now, so back on the power to maintain that fast walking pace. Where we need to go, because there are so many tracks leading us to where we need to be. And I want to be well over to the left, because effectively we're on the runway as well. Somebody makes a mess of their landing, quite likely that they might coming in our direction. So smooth back on the power to bring us stop.
I've got a question with the run-up checks. Say we're in an airport where it doesn't have like a good hold. Do we just do it on the taxiway or on the runway?
But, well, yes. As long as you're behind the broken line.
Yep.
If you're on an airport with full air traffic control, they allow you to choose your own moment to do your run-up check.
Yep.
They won't specifically say do your run-up check. So they'll direct you around. So they'll say, last trip I did a ferry trip to Oxford Airport. So they'll say it's runway 19 via Alpha Bravo and Charlie, hold Charlie 4. So when you're holding at Charlie 4, do your run-up check. And then they'll say Golf Zulu Papa, was the airplane I was flying. Golf Zulu Papa, line up and wait. Line up and waited. Golf Zulu Papa, clear for take. Right, so 1200 RPM is the default position, so the plugs don't oil up. Pre-takeoff vital actions, trim, set for takeoff. Mixture, fully rich. Fuel is on the floor, on, gated and sufficient. Flaps, we need 10 degrees of flap. All good. I'm now doing a full and free control check and I'm making sure that they are operating in the correct sense. I'll have a bit of a chat about that as we're flying. Next thing, transponder to alt. We'll just have a final check. Carburetor heat, just leave it out a bit longer. All good. So we'll now call for line-up. Golf Hotel Uniform, lining up runway 24. And I'm just checking the approach again. And we're not going to stop, Lewis, we're going to just keep on rolling.
So, given our RPM isn't in the green, do we still leave it RP cold?
Yes, because the carburetor heat check is done, as you correctly pointed out, as we were running up there, to make sure that there's no ice in the carburetor.
Yep.
When we're at the hold there, especially if you're holding a long time at 1200 RPM, it's a good idea to do another carburetor heat check just in case. But the green arc is where the power needs to be. I'm just going to make a quick call. Golf Hotel uniform, rolling 2 full. Just gently increasing the back pressure. I've got my aiming point, which is that barn at the far end of the runway. I'm gradually increasing the back pressure now. And we're airborne, Lewis. And as soon as we're airborne, I'm just relaxing that back pressure a bit so the aeroplane accelerates out of ground effect. Checking the ball, checking that that ball is in the middle, and keeping the wings level.
Flaps up.
At 300 feet.
300.
Because if we attract them too early, we might sink.
I think Chris is really quick in the Pipistrel.
Right. Oh yes. Aeroplanes are different, Lewis. Aeroplanes are different. So I fly lots of different aeroplanes, and I make a mental decision, if you like, to say, today I'm in a Cessna 152. Yesterday I was in that Tiger Moth, which is quite a different experience to fly than a Cessna 152. So we're continuing on runway heading. When the altimeter needle gets to 500 feet, good idea to check that we're on our own. So I'm just going to lower the nose. Also a good idea to check that T's and P's are still in the green.
Yep.
Now we can continue the climb. So you have control, Lewis.
I have control.
So maintain light pressure on the rudder pedals. Don't let the nose come up too much. Lower the nose. About there is perfect. Just keep wings level. Keep the ball in the middle. And just maintain that climb. We're already trimmed for takeoff. So if you let go of the yoke, Lewis, just let go of it.
Yep.
It's already correctly trimmed. Trimming is the art of flying, Lewis. Talk about that in a minute, once we've levelled. So we're coming up to 1,000 feet. So if you want to gently lower the nose, let's have a look at that. We've got a bit of drizzle over there, haven't we? So I think what we'll do is we will check right, check centre, check left. Just give me a nice gentle turn to the left, Lewis. No more than 15 degrees of bank. That's it. Keep us coming round. Keep the bank angle in. Good. Okay. Lower the nose and roll wings level. And I want to see 4 fingers of green above the cowling, Lewis. So lower the nose, so it's attitude. I'll do the power for you. Power. Lower the nose. 4 fingers of green above the cowling. Power. Back to 2350. Tighten up the friction knob. That's that done. Attitude, power's done. Now, let go of the yoke, Lewis.
Visors.
Visors, because we're still in trim for the climb, aren't we, for takeoff. So lower the nose back again. So we've got 4 fingers of green, and then course by feel, nose down trim. Don't lose the attitude while you're doing it. Course by feel, fine by attitude. So reset the attitude so that give the aeroplane time to talk to you, Lewis. Let it settle down a little bit. And then recheck the trim. Common error is to allow the aeroplane to fly in a slightly nose-up attitude, which is inefficient. So we need those 4 fingers of green above the cowling, and we check we're level. If the wingtips are level with the horizon, we're probably flying straight and level, and the confirmation will be on the altimeter, won't it?
Yep.
If the altimeter's not, we're not climbing and not descending, we're probably in trim. So just let the aeroplane settle down and fly us along like that, Lewis. So are we in trim? Let go of the yoke.
We are.
Not bad, eh?
Yep.
So just maintain that. Have you been above the clouds yet, Lewis, on a flight?
No.
Well, we could do what's called VFR on top. game. So I'm going to do the power for you, but I want you to put the nose just above the horizon. So instead of attitude, power, trim, it's now power, attitude, trim. So power, we're going to go full power. So pitch up, throttle up, about there, hold the nose there. Got full power, trim for the climb, to relieve the load on the yoke. And we're going to check, we're going to lower the nose every 500 feet, Lewis. When we get to 2000, I never level at 2000, never fly at 2000, because you'd be surprised how many light aeroplane pilots do that. So it reduces the risk of collision considerably if you're at a different height or altitude. Ball in the middle, Lewis, so squeeze that right rudder, squeeze, not push, squeeze the right rudder until that ball's back in the middle. So coming out to 2,000 feet, let's have a little bit of a nod. Are we on our own? Yes we are. Recommence the climb, nose above the horizon. So we'll have a nice gentle climbing turn, no more than 50 degrees of bank, to the right now please. Balls in the middle. Nice, keep that up Lewis, that's lovely. Keep that lookout going. Lookout, attitude, instruments. Lookout, attitude, instruments. Keep that climb going. And then roll out there, wings level, but maintain that nose angle on the horizon. And of course we're looking out, we're not looking at the instruments. The instruments we need to be looking at primarily is airspeed. So let's raise the nose until we get to 70 knots, which is a good economical climb speed. Let's make sure the ball's in the middle, because we're at a high power setting. Squeeze right rudder, so if the ball comes out to the right, you tread on the ball. So squeeze right rudder, not push, squeeze right rudder. If it comes out to the left, squeeze left rudder. Okay. Nice. So we're at 2,700 feet. Let's keep that climb going until we get to 3,000 feet. And when we get to 2,950 feet, we'll gently push, so because remember it's attitude, power, trim. Keep that lookout going. Churning up the air, but when we get to 3,000 feet, so gently lower the nose, attitude, I'm going to bring the power back for you to about there, and we're going to trim without losing the attitude, Lewis, of course, which you did, excellent. Very good. So let's do a 360 degree turn, Lewis. So look out to the right, check centre, 30 degrees of bank all the way around, 360. So we come back onto 060 as a heading. Constant back pressure, that's enough bank angle, 30 degrees remember, not 45. 30 degrees of bank, squeeze that rudder if you need to keep the ball in the middle, constant back pressure, constant angle of bank. Constant back pressure, constant angle of bank. Ball in the middle, looking into the turn. Got 3,000 feet, let's keep it there. So gentle pressures. Good, keep it coming around. clear of this cloud. We're not going to go IFR, which is good. That's it, you've recovered that nicely. So we're back at 3,000 feet. Roll out there. Oh, and we're more or less back at 060. Good. Well, now we've got some height. Shall we have a look at a clean stall, Lewis? Shall we have a look at that? So I have control. So we do a Hazel check. So height, yep, we've got plenty of height. Airframe, flaps are up. Security, we've no loose articles. Engine T's and P's are in the green. Location, we're not above controlled airspace. We're looking out by continuing the turn. I'm going to reverse the turn. So we're going to recover at the incipient stage. So when that stall warner starts to go, we're going to push, power, and if we need to, well, we'll be wings level, but if we've got a wing drop, we push, roll, and then power. So roll wings level. So I think we're alright as we are. Another demonstration. If I decide to just let go of the yoke, yeah, but we're not going to stall, are we?
No.
So, if I bring the nose back up level, stalling is all about the elevator.
Yep.
It's all about stick position or yoke position. So when the yoke starts to come back towards you and it won't come back anymore, that's your angle of attack indicator. So you're increasing your angle of attack. And all you need to do to break the stall, it's important to check you've got the ball in the middle, because if you've got any yaw, the tendency for the aeroplane will be, if you don't recover from the stall, it'll go into a spin.
Yep. When you are in the spin, is it opposite rudder?
Yes. So look at that. Airspeed coming back, coming. We do the first recovery without adding any power at all. We don't need power to recover from a stall. All we need to do is reduce the angle of attack.
Yeah.
Now we'll come back to a sensible power. We've lost 1,000 feet though, because although we weren't stalling, we had a high rate of descent.
Yep.
So smoothly back on the power. That's the defunct Westburton power station over there. So you have control, Lewis. Yep. So I'm bringing your power back. So climb us back to 3,000 feet. Then power, attitude, trim. And we'll just do a climbing left-hand turn, Lewis. So check to the right, check centre, check left, round you go. low, about halfway.
Not quite. Oh yeah,
Yeah, got it?
Yep, yep.
Good eyes, Lewis.
You did.
Okay, come around to the left. A lot of water on the ground these days. So you've got lots of good practice here on climbing and descending, doing these exercises.
A lot different in the Cessna.
Yes. It's heavier, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, the Pipistrel is a much livelier aeroplane, and it's got higher performance, of course. It's faster, it climbs faster, even though it's got less horsepower because it's more aerodynamically efficient, less drag. So we're going to anticipate when we get to about 50 feet, just that gentle pushover. Although that's good enough, Lewis. So we'll level there, so you still have control. I've reduced the throttle friction for you. So what I want you to do is once you're level, in trim, excellent. All in the middle. Come back on the power. Carb heat first. Do some carb heat now. Come back on the power smoothly and progressively without letting the nose drop. And we'll do that recovery again without power. So when we get the beep, we'll just gently push the nose over and do the recovery without power. Note how much height we've lost again. Now clearly if you're on the approach now, and the aeroplane was handling like it is now, it's getting a bit sloppy now, isn't it? You wouldn't be here now, would you? You'd be adding power.
Yep.
But we'll just keep that yoke coming back, Lewis. Been coming back.
Really
we do
doesn't
that
want
now.
to stop.
No, it's
Yeah.
that washout that we had a look at on the ground earlier, doing its job. So, that's it. Smoothly done, excellent, Lewis. But look how much height we've lost.
Lost, yeah.
So just let the aeroplane accelerate. Car beat to cold, push that car beat back in, and now smoothly bring the power back to 2300 RPM. Keep on aiming towards that warehouse over there. That'll do us nicely. Established there is that stalling isn't really about airspeed.
It's about angle of attack.
It's angle of attack.
Yep.
This is your angle of attack indicator. So 4 figures of green above the cowling, Lewis. Check your wingtips are level with the horizon. Ball in the middle. And just settle the aeroplane down. So the secret is not to try and trim the aeroplane when you've not got the correct attitude. So it's always check the attitude, and miraculously you'll discover that when you do, it's caused by feel, so you know, roughly to begin with, and then fine by attitude. So you just release the yoke. If the nose is coming up, smidge of nose down trim. If the nose is going down, smidge of nose up trim, and then recheck it, and miraculously you'll find everything's where it should be, and the altimeter needle is frozen, Lewis, at 1,600 feet. So just keep us flying along. Do you know where you are? So we're going to get you some orientation so you can always find your way back to the airfield. So one of the things I always do is I look at the warehouses around here.
Yep.
That is the big B&Q warehouse. So that's workshop. So we're more or less pointing straight towards the airfield now. So that big factory, white factory there, so that big conurbation is workshop. You've got that warehouse over there. You've got the big massive wind turbine down there with a big shed next to it. So that tells you that you're coming towards workshop. And that road that we were over there was the A57 A1. So we'll begin to build up a picture. We can also look at our compass and DI, can't we?
Yeah.
Because it tells us we're heading west. So what we're looking in front of, well, what we're seeing in front of us corresponds to that, because we can, it's not brilliant visibility, actually a bit of rain coming in from the west. So we've got the Peak District over there. So we're sort of orientating ourselves. So I'm just keeping an eye on that rain, Lewis.
Yeah.
So we'll keep the airfield close at hand, just in case we need to scoot in ahead of it. So, that's it. Remember that 4 fingers of green above the cowling. That's kind of a rough and ready thing. And then you can cross-check, because remember, it's look out, attitude, quick scan of the instruments. Always be looking outside, Lewis. Never fly at 2,000 feet. The other thing you can see are those 3 wind turbines. Too close together.
Victor, request radio check and airfield information.
And one on its own. So that's an indication
Charlie Victor, you're
heading towards the airfield.
Runway use 24 left hand, QFE 1005.
So if you're heading towards that single turbine there, with that factory down there,
QFE 1005.
you can see the hangars. So we're heading straight towards the airfield now.
Yep, yeah, I see it.
Yep, so what we'll do, instead of heading straight towards the airfield, but keeping an eye on that weather, we'll check right, we'll check centre, we'll do a turn over workshop, Lewis. So turn us towards the big wood beyond workshop, please. And then we'll stay out of the traffic zone for Netherthorpe. And then what we'll do, if the cloud base allows, Lewis, you can follow me through on a standard overhead join. In fact, I'm going to let you do most of it. And then you can follow me through for the actual approach.
Golf Charlie Victor, taxiing out to runway 24 power check area.
So roll wings level there. That's good. So just regain that picture, Lewis. 4 fingers of green above the cowling. One of the things I always found amazing about the Pipistrel is cruising at 4,600 RPM.
Yeah, it's quite a
change.
Was it 5,000 for a climb? Or,
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. It's been a while since I've flown the little Pip. I'm lucky enough to get to fly lots of different light aeroplanes. I have ferry aeroplanes around for people. And so I've not got much time in the Pip. But first time I flew it, it was with Chris, of course.
Yep.
I thought, what a super little aeroplane this is.
It is amazing.
And that's the aeroplane to fly. I mean, much as we love the Cessna, I mean, this is a 1950s aeroplane, really. Even though this one was I think it was one of the last ones built in the early 80s. And this is a French one.
Golf Charlie Victor, crossing runway 24.
Because the men from Wichita in the late 50s, early 60s came over to Hatfield, the home of de Havilland, and said, would you like to build our Cessnas under licence for us, because you've got a reputation as a light aeroplane manufacturer. And de Havilland turned them down and said, no, we would rather not actually. We'd rather concentrate on our brand new Trident airliner, which is going to take the world by storm and be a bestseller. the channel to Reims, and they said, "Mais oui, c'est à moi." So why wouldn't you build aeroplanes for Cessna? Of course you would. So they said yes. So that's why this is French. And that's why if you want to be a nitpicker, if you're into nomenclature, this is an F-152 for France, rather than a C-152.
The turbulence over the trees.
Yeah. Also, thermal activity as well. Actually, we're a bit high for trees, although it certainly does mix up. So you're probably there. You're probably correct. But more so,
The clouds.
So you've got inflow. There's my old glider pilot days coming back now. You've got inflow into the cloud, which is lift, and outflow, which is sink. And of course, the art was when we got the inflow, we'd go into a really tight turn to centre the thermal lift. So we didn't have to go back down and stay up as long as possible. And I've been up all day in a glider. Okay, we'll check left, we'll check centre, and we'll do a nice 30-degree bank turn to the right, please, Lewis. And we'll orientate ourselves as to where we are now. Well, that looks very much like Clumber Park to me. And again, I'm just keeping an eye on that rain. So we haven't strayed very far, have we? So there's works up again, so roll out there. So we're clear of the air traffic zone.
Go ahead, check the Golf Charlie Victor.
Yeah, just do that, bring it up to 1700, do a mag check again for me, please.
Yeah, we'll go. The right mag's pretty bad. Drop is 200 or more.
Roger, if you taxi back over to the school then.
Roger, will do.
Oh dear,
Mad sort. The best.
we had a big mad drop.
Yep.
So it's dual ignition, unlike a car, which is single ignition. So even if the battery failed, we'd lose the radio, we wouldn't be able to put the flaps down,
Golf Charlie Victor, crossing runway 24, taxiing back.
but the engine will keep on working, which will get sparks through the spark plugs, because the magneto is providing the electrical input.
Roger, will do.
Old technology, Lewis. I mean, motor cars used to have magnetos, but not for the last 50 or 60 years. But aeroplanes still do. Okay, so what we'll do is, without adding any power, we'll just pitch the nose just a little bit above the horizon, Lewis, to get to 1,800 feet, because we're going to do a standard overhead join at Netherthorpe. So just start a gentle left turn, put us overhead workshop, Lewis. There we are, 1,800 feet. And you'll see the RPM recover back to where it was before, and we'll maintain 1,800 feet. Head towards that white warehouse over there for me, please. So lower the nose, and recheck the trim, so don't forget attitude, power, trim. 4 fingers of green is the correct attitude. We're going to be toe nose high. Because apart from anything else, it improves the view, doesn't it? And believe you me, when you get into a circuit, Lewis, you need to be able to see what's happening, because shock horror, there are pilots out there who are determined to kill you and themselves. Don't mean to, of course, but some of their flying isn't as accurate as yours. That's good. Let the aeroplane settle down. Go with it. Balls in the middle. Look out, especially approaching the airfield. So we can do a quick freeder check now. Fuel, we are coming up to 50 minutes from full, so we've got plenty of fuel. Radio, we're on the correct frequency. Engine T's and P's still in the green. direction, compass and DI, yeah, looking good. Altimeter correctly set 1005. That's on 1005, isn't it? Or is it? Yeah, it is, isn't it?
106.
Oh yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah.
So I'm pointing directly at the airfield, so it's a left-hand circuit. So what we're going to do is we're going to position, see that warehouse down there, fly us overhead that warehouse.
Is this QFE or QNH?
QFE. QFE. We're staying on the QFE. So that's the height above the airfield.
Yeah.
As you know, QNH is height above sea level.
Question with the standard overhead joint.
Look how much height we've lost.
True, yeah.
Okay, let's bring that height back. Sorry, go ahead, Lewis.
Yep, so you know in some airfields where they've got rotary circuits the other direction, how would a standard overhead joint work in that case?
Exactly the same way.
Exactly.
Except you'd be joining it from the right. So left-hand circuit, you keep the airfield on the left. So we're approaching from the south, so the dead side must be on the north. The live side is to the south, different way around on a right-hand circuit. So I am going to give Netherthorpe a call. Netherthorpe Radio, Golf Bravo Foxtrot Hotel Uniform, rejoining from the southeast.
Golf Hotel Uniform, roger.
So let's get some power in. We've hit some sync, so nose above the horizon. We'll go from the horizon. That's it. That's it. Bit of trim. My throttle's US, so I'll just give you some more power. Ball in the middle. Nose above the horizon. So, turn towards the airfield. What I want you to do, so there's 2 4 numbers at this side.
Yep.
06 on the opposite side of the runway.
Yep.
I want you to fly.
Netherthorpe Radio, Golf Alpha Zulu, Uniform Zulu is inbound from the east to join the dead side for runway 24.
Okay, level, attitude. I've got the throttle, power, trim. So, turners. What some people call midfield. So if you turn us now, Lewis, just flies directly over the airfield. So we're on the dead side now, and we're going to come back to the dead side. But you heard that guy, he's not going to do a standard overhead join, so we are. Golf Hotel Uniform, joining overhead, runway 24. So my throttle's Lewis. You're going to keep flying the aeroplane. Height's coming back to 1,800 feet. So we're all good. There's the big wood over there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fly over the numbers of the runway that we're going to land on. So 1,800 feet. Power, attitude, trim. 4 fingers of green. Okay, 30-degree bank turn to the left, please, Lewis. And I want you to be able to look down and see the 2 4 numbers on your left at 1,800 feet. And we're looking out for that traffic who said he was joining dead side. So we should have plenty of room. That's good. Okay. guy that's supposedly joining dead side. So maintain 1,800 feet, get that attitude back, 4 fingers of green above the cowling, and keep that lookout. I've not heard another call from our man. Now, when our tailplane has cleared the active runway, we then begin to descend on the dead side. And I've not heard any more calls. We're going to switch some lights on you to make ourselves as visible as possible now. Okay, reckon our tailplane's cleared the runway?
Yep.
30-degree turn to the left. My throttle. Bring the power back. And then roll out there, Lewis. And then just introduce a gentle left-hand turn now. Golf Hotel uniform, dead side descending, runway 24. So we've been good boys, we've done a standard overhead joint, which we're still doing. We're descending on the dead side, so our rate of descent is just right. I want you to fly us towards that big wood over there, Lewis.
Yep.
So by the time we turn onto the downwind, we're going to be at 800 feet, which is circuit height. Now, I'm keeping a lookout going. I've not heard another call from this guy that was supposedly joining dead side, which is where we are now. So where is he? Well, he's not underneath us, but we'll take this nice and wide, Lewis. So keep on flying towards the big wood. That's lovely. See our height's coming down steadily. Just at the right amount. So when you're carrying passengers, they won't get any ear discomfort. Just keep it descending gently, much kinder to the ears. There. So start to turn to the left now. Not too much, just nice and gentle. And then aim us towards that chimney at the quarry. See the chimney there? Just fly towards that for a bit. And then, with 100 feet to go.
Golf uniform Zulu is dead side descending to join downwind, runway 24.
Right, well that was a very early call, wasn't it? So with 100 feet to go, car beat to cold, power's coming back, Lewis. And we'll be at 1,800 feet. We're perfectly positioned now to join downwind. Sorry, to turn downwind. Yep. So we've got good separation on our guy. Keep on flying that heading, that's good. It's going to reduce the power a bit for you. So check right, check ahead. So a nice, gentle 30-degree bank turn. Put us over that white warehouse there, Lewis. I'll make the call. Golf Hotel uniform downwind, runway 24. Roll out there. So we should be paralleling the runway now, which we are. And we're at 800 feet. Maintain that for me. That's brilliant. So brakes. Got pressure undercarriage is fixed. Mixture is fully rich. Fuel is sufficient for go around the diversion. We'll bring the nose up a bit. Flaps are up at this stage. Instruments, compass and DI. Yep, looking good. T's and P's in the green, looking good. Carb heat. Hatches, harnesses secure, all secure your side.
Yep.
Okay, what we'll do is we'll do a go around on this one. So turn to the left. Keep turning until I tell you to stop. Roll out there, and we're going to fly. We're going to do a go around, so we're going to position on the dead side. Where's our man who said he was joining on the dead side? Where is he?
I still do not see him. He hasn't made a downwind call.
No, he has not, has he? Yeah, Lord knows where he is. Well, we'll turn onto the centre line. So we're not using any We're not doing it
Golf Uniform Zulu, downwind 24.
well. So line up on the runway, Lewis. And he should be on the downwind now, so where that big wood is that we flew over earlier,
Yep.
he should be going that way. So align yourself with the runway, and then I want you to move over to the right hand side of the runway. So you've got the runway on your left as we fly parallel to the runway. Golf Hotel Uniform going around, runway 24. So, we'll give you a bit more power and just put the nose up on the horizon, please, Lewis. And we'll climb back up to 800 feet. Well, our other man's being very elusive, isn't he?
I still don't have him in sight.
He should be turning on to base lane
yeah, soon.
by now, but we'll find out soon enough. Okay, ball's nicely in the middle, I think. Wings level, 800 feet, just gently nod. Power's set, so attitude, power, trim. Trim for 800 feet, freeze that needle at 800 feet, Lewis. Put back on the power a bit for you. So we'll come over the big wood. And then I want you to turn me towards that.
Uniform Zulu, final 24.
I want you to turn me towards that chimney at the quarry there. That's it. Nice 30-degree bank turn. Constant back pressure. Constant angle of bank. Roll out there. See that water feature in the middle distance. Just fly towards that. Right, you see? It's a bit bumpy now, isn't it? So, my throttles. Hey, doing well, viewers. Check that ball's in the middle. Check right. Check centre. Check left. 30-degree bank turn to the left. Put us over that white warehouse, please, viewers. Golf Hotel Uniform downwind, runway 24. Roll out there. Head towards that blue warehouse, viewers. That'll be nice. So, pre-landing checks. Brakes, got pressure, undercarriages fixed. Mixture, full rich. Fuel is sufficient to go around the diversion. The flaps are up. Instruments. All still all good. T's and P's in the green. Carburetor heat to hot. Hatches harness secure. All good.
Golf Uniform Zulu, runway vacated.
Well, there we are. So just bring the nose up a little bit, Lewis, and then turn. 30-degree bank turn to the left. Okay, and you're going to follow through with me now.
Yep.
So just follow me through.
Yep.
So we're going to slow the aeroplane down until we're in the white arc. So limitation in the white arc now, or shortly will be. There we are. Limitation, operation, 20 degrees of flap. Indication, 20 degrees. Trim. So we've flown through the centre line. So we need to get back on the centre line. So we've turned final. So we'll call final. Golf Hotel Uniform, final runway 24. So, runway speed, and we're flying the picture. So we're flying a constant aspect approach. We can go full flap now. And I'm coming back on the power because we're above the glide slope.
But when you put the flaps, you normally nose up a bit.
Yes, that's right.
Do you anticipate or do you react to that?
No, you just when you put the flaps down, you add two good blows of nose up trim, so that when I take my hands off,
Yep.
a bit more trim. flying itself. So, we don't want to let the speed drop below 60 knots at this point. So you see that's a nice picture now.
Yep.
I'm getting ready to centre with the rudder if I need to. Speed's bang on. We're on the centre line, coming down the glide slope. Car beat away, in case we need to go around. Power's coming all the way back now, and I'm just introducing the flare. And we're down.
No brakes?
No brakes yet. Not touching the brakes. Golf Hotel uniform, vacating left. So, without using any brake, be kind to the runway surface. Taxi back in. And when we're clear of the runway, Lewis, we're going to do some checks. Including one check that I think will stand you in good stead for the future. So, I haven't touched the brakes, still using that rudder. Now what I'm going to do is positively identify the flap lever. That looks like a flap, that's quite deliberate. It looks like a flap, it probably is a flap lever. So, having positively identified it as the flap lever, I now feel safe to move it. The landing gear lever generally has a wheel on the end to remind you that that's the landing gear lever. But if you just reach for something in the cockpit without positively identifying it, you know what can happen next, don't you? Many a pilot, much better than me, much more famous than me, have landed and retracted the gear instead of the flaps.
I think that's one thing in the Pipistrel where the brakes and the throttle feel the same. And they're right next to each other.
Right next to each other.
Yeah.
So always positively identify before you move anything in the cockpit. So when we get near other aeroplanes or obstructions, we go into super slow mode. And we always like low wing aeroplanes with high wing aeroplanes because that enables us to manoeuvre in a confined space without excessive paperwork being involved.
Is that a Warrior?
That's a Cherokee, actually.
A Cherokee.
So it's a 180 though, so it's the one to have, Lewis. They come in various flavours. I mean, the original Cherokee I think was 140 horsepower. Then they went 150, 160, 180, and of course you can get a 205, 210. A bit like same engine that's in the Arrow, Piper Arrow, the retractable, and the Mooney 231. It's got the same engine.
So turbos?
Not turbocharged, still normally aspirated. But that, I've flown that aeroplane, Uniform X-Ray, and it's the kind of aeroplane you need when there's not a lot of wind and you want to carry a few passengers. It gives you a good margin of safety. So, because you can't beat a bit of power, can you? So 1200 RPM set, we'll do our housekeeping checks. We don't need the transponder anymore, we don't need the radios anymore, we've switched the lights off, we leave the beacon on. Can you do a magneto check for me please, Lewis? So left, back to both, right, back to both, all good. So gently back, power, mixture to idle cut-off, to the off position, master switch off, and key out please Lewis, and if you just perch it on there for me, that's it. Right, well you can add exercise 10A and B.